Scotty. Who's Scotty?
So CLOUDWHEEL has released a brand new wheel. It's called the FE Discovery. It comes compatible for belt and for hub. Today we're looking at the 105 grey. I think they call it black, and it is for the belt drive. What's the big difference? Well, it is a flat contact patch. This is the first time CLOUDWHEEL have done a flat contact patch. It comes pre-stone ground in the box, and they've returned to the foam core. You can see it with the light behind me. The previous model, the Galaxy I think it was, had the holes. These guys have gone back to the foam core. That's to some people's delight and some people's displeasure, I guess you call it. Now, the question I've seen probably pop up a few times on my Instagram story is, have they changed the formula? Well, the answer is I don't know. The reason people ask that is because there has been the occasional case, and when I say occasional, I've seen probably 5 over the last 4 or 5 years, where the wheel delaminates around this clear hub in here. I've seen it personally on a guy's wheel in Sydney on a set of pink 120 Discoveries, and I've seen a few other cases online. As I said, maximum 5. It's never happened to me, so I'm not really sure what causes it. So I'll just get that out of the way. I don't know if they've changed the formula. What I can tell you is, I've had this wheel now for 2.5, almost 3 weeks, and I've been riding it on a mixture of different boards. So the very first board I put it onto the tiny Stinger. So I took the Galaxies off, those green ones, you might remember the video, and had an absolute blast. I'll tell you straight away, the flat contact patch is game-changing for CLOUDWHEEL. Obviously, everyone else is doing it, so it makes sense that they get on board and try it out. The foam core with that flat contact patch, and by the way, it's 50 millimeters, so 5 centimeters from the flat edge to the flat edge, is game-changing for this particular wheel, for the Discovery series. It's so much more grippier, it's so much quieter, and it doesn't slip anywhere near as easily in wet and damp conditions. So straight away, that was a massive, massive tick for me. Then I took the wheels off that and I put it onto the Pivot. I had to think about that. The Propel Pivot GT. Couple issues with that there. I had to take the front headlights off because the headlights would hit the tires. When I first jumped on it into the hard curve, I was like, why is it, what's the restriction? Where's the friction coming from? But I soon realized it was the headlights. So I stopped, took the headlights off, probably put about 100 kilometers on the wheels on that board, and again, thoroughly enjoyed it. Really sticky. You can have a lot of fun by pushing that wheel out and just really treating it with a little bit of disrespect. And again, no issues, no problems. The main thing I like about this wheel versus, say, the CLOUDWHEEL Galaxies or the tiny, big soft wheels, and they've never given them an official name, is because this has the foam core, you don't get that low speed vibration because there aren't the holes sort of compacting. It's a much more quieter and much more comfortable wheel at low speed. Now that said, anything above about 15 kilometers per hour, they feel much the same. I've got to be honest. They're a good, comfortable, simple wheel to use, and they're just a lot of fun to ride. Now, I did mention at the intro there is more than just the 105s. These also come in the 120mm. CLOUDWHEEL is famous for that. When they first brought out the 120s, you know, they were an instant hit, and to this day I know they are still their biggest selling wheel. So of course they've brought out the FEs in 120, and they've also brought them out in the hub motors. So if you've got a hub motor board and you want a smoother ride, check on their website after the 1st of July. That's when these go on sale. Check on the website and they will have the drop down for what particular board you've got to make sure they fit. Now I know James in the UK will be eagerly waiting that drop down to see if there is a 105 that will fit his board, because he loves bigger, softer, comfortable wheels. Now I want to talk about durability, because again, that's where you really need to test these wheels. I've got between about 170 and 200 kilometers on this set of wheels as of right now. The last board I put it on, which will be the board I'm showing you today, the footage you're seeing right now, is the Ace-Deck, what is it? Ace-Deck, Stella Mini. I had to think about that. It's the Ace-Deck Stella Mini, so many different words. And this is probably the most fun because it's that really wide board with that big fat kicktail, and you can really put a lot of effort into that back foot. Now before we end, I wanted to share what I love and what I think is an opportunity for the FE series moving forward. Firstly, I'm super stoked they've moved back to the foam core. That's what CLOUDWHEEL is famous for. It's what they do well, and I'm glad they've brought it back for this series of wheels. I'm really stoked they've gone to a flat contact patch. It just makes sense. It handles well, it's quiet, it gives amazing grip, and you can still ride it on very light off-road, you know, trails, paths, short grass, that sort of thing. You would never really take in the old Discoveries off-road anyway, and if you were, they didn't perform that great. One opportunity, one thing I would love to see come to the FE series is a wider contact patch. 50mm is good, but it's not where it could be, if that makes sense. I would love to see an additional 15mm on there. 65mm contact patch will really make this wheel a wheel to reckon or to challenge any other wheel that's out there on the market right now. But as of right now, with close to 200 kilometers on the FE, I'm very happy with it. I'm very surprised by its quality, its quietness, its smoothness, but it really does do a good job at taking out those bumps and allowing you just to really enjoy the ride without having to look forward, especially when you're on a short board like the Stella Mini, having to look forward for those little rocks and cracks and that sort of thing. This just glides over them without a problem. But that is the end of this very short look at the CLOUDWHEEL Discovery FEs. If you've enjoyed this content, make sure you give it a thumbs up. As I said, we've got some really awesome boards coming in the very near future, so make sure you hit subscribe. We've got some brand new boards that have not even been spoken about yet, and we should be able to really surprise the e-skate industry with what's coming from a brand new, well, not a brand new company, it's actually a very old company, but they're doing something for the very first time. Can't say any more, got to keep it cryptic. Have a guess below if you want. If you've got any comments or questions about these wheels or anything on my channel, chuck it down below. It's always good to comment on the newest video, that way I see it and I will definitely respond to it. If there's a particular test you'd like me to do on one of the boards you've seen in the past, like a range test or a hill climb test, chuck it down below and I will get it done in the next 4 to 6 weeks. But that's the end for now, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, skate safe, wear a helmet, and we'll see you on the next video.